What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Deidre here, and I just kind of wanted to give you a life update. I know everything's been crazy with everything going on, so I kind of just wanted to give you guys an update. The last time I spoke with you guys on the channel, I think I'd given kind of an update on nursing school and getting ready to graduate and things like that. So fast forward to May, and I have officially graduated as of March 2020. I am a college graduate of a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing degree program, so yay me. And I successfully passed my NCLEX in April, and that was interesting. It really was a different experience. Not what I was expecting, but also exactly what I was expecting. So because of all of the stipulations and things going on with the virus right now, they kind of changed up the protocol, the maximum and minimum amount of questions that are on the test, and how long you have to take the test. So I ended up taking the test in about 35 minutes, and it cut off on me after 60 questions. So I was super nerve-wracking, and I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I swear, when I walked out of the testing center, I was like, okay, I failed this test. Like, that's literally how I felt. I was like, I know I failed this test. 2 days later, got my results. I did not fail the test. So obviously that in itself was really good news, especially with everything going on right now. Any bit of good news is welcome at this point, because there are so many people who are just suffering and losing their lives and losing their loved ones and losing their jobs. And so just to have an ounce of good news in such a horrible time is wonderful. So yeah, it's been a kind of a weird transition with everything going on, working and stuff like that. So I will save that for another video, but just know that it is not easy, especially with the pandemic going on. You would be surprised, or maybe not so surprised if you actually just thought about it, that finding a job as a new nurse in the middle of a pandemic is not the easiest. And a lot of people were coming to me originally like, oh, like this is a perfect time, because they're waiving all of these different rules and regulations, and they're just allowing pretty much anybody who's gotten to like 50% of a nursing course to be a nurse. And I'm like, yeah, but think about it realistically, especially for these bigger brand hospitals and companies. They're going to want experienced people. Yes, they're looking for people amongst the pandemic to work on these COVID-19 floors, but they want experienced people. And I don't think people are really understanding and realizing that, like, new graduates are basically some of these kids. Like, yes, I started in healthcare and I've been in healthcare for 10 years, so that's a given. But there are people who graduated the program with me who work retail or have never had any type of healthcare experience other than going to the doctor themselves. So to think that everybody's just going to be ready to jump in the battlefield, even as a new grad nurse with no experience or coming from like working from Walmart, is just unrealistic. So I think that when you think about that aspect of it, you have to really be sensitive to the fact that, yes, it makes sense. Hey, you should be able to get a job. Everybody's looking for a nurse. But, hey, like, do you know how to chart? Do you know how to give medications? Do you know how to start IVs? You know what I mean? Like, have you ever worked a 12-hour shift? Like, these are questions that you start thinking about, and all of a sudden this person who was qualified because they're a nurse, or no, I don't even say nurse, because they're a nurse, they have a degree, like all of a sudden this person may not be looking like such a great candidate when it comes to basically just throwing somebody out there because of a pandemic that's going on. So you really kind of have to think about everything and then make the decision if it makes sense to just be starting new grads wherever, and honestly, no. And I'm a new grad, and like I wanted to like just gung-ho start working right off the bat, and even I was like, okay, I know there's everything you got to go through. There's orientations, there's paperwork, there's everything. And I already worked in a hospital, so it was kind of like I understood that, but I don't think everyone did. And I think that if people would just slow down and think about it, like, you have to train new grads, and just throwing them in the fire in the middle of a pandemic is not necessarily the smartest move for anybody. So Yes, they want jobs. Yes, we wanted jobs. Like, that wasn't the point. The point is, like, I want to make sure that I can take care of patients effectively and safely, and not lose my license. And so, you know, sometimes waiting and being patient is more effective. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now, just chilling. I am still working, and I'm enjoying my days off. I really just feel like, you know, everything going on right now as far as like these things opening back up, restaurants opening back up, stores opening up, and things like that. Like, honestly, I'm a healthcare worker. We get daily updates and emails on the numbers, the real-time numbers of how many people are we treating at this specific hospital, how many cases have been reported in the Houston area, how many cases have been reported in the U.S., and then how many cases have been reported worldwide. So we're seeing those numbers every other day. Every couple days they have refreshed that page. So, you know, I've seen a lot of people questioning the numbers who don't really know or are kind of just skeptical to begin with, saying that media and everything else is kind of inflating the numbers to kind of scare us. And honestly, I don't think that they're being inflated enough. They are really downplaying the numbers when it comes to who has this virus. And most of that and a lot of that just stems from the fact that we don't know. There are several people who get tested off of a whim, or like me, in my case, my job is just offering free testing to the employees if you want to get it done. So, you know, you have the group who's just like, sure, I'll go get free testing. No symptoms, no fever, no congestion, no chest pain, no shortness of breath. Boom, positive test. So you have to really understand that this virus doesn't always present itself with classic symptoms. And because of that, we can't give you a number of someone who doesn't get tested because they don't have symptoms. It's impossible. We can only give numbers based on what we have confirmed and then tell you, yes, this is how many confirmed cases we have. But that doesn't account for the several hundred thousands of unconfirmed cases of people who just don't have symptoms and may be carriers. So it's out there. Be careful. Obviously, use your sense and use your PPE, wear a mask. Everybody should be wearing masks. I don't care if you're symptomatic or not. Everybody, wherever you are, should be wearing a mask. And that's just my take on it. But just be smart. Like, if you're going to go out there and do something, be smart. I know certain stores are having these great discounts and you want to just cash in on them. But I mean, honestly, like, number one, the internet is always there. And number two, like, is it really worth it? Like, do you really need an extra pair of clothes? Like, most of us are wearing pajamas right now anyways. Like, you know, can it wait? And if it can wait, then let it wait. That's my biggest thing to you. If you're trying to decide whether or not to go out in the midst of this chaos, wait if you can. Because the last thing you want to do is just hop out there and then it gets worse. And I can already tell you, based on the numbers and everything, the new information, since they've reopened things, it's doing exactly what we thought it was going to do as far as spreading. So just be careful, guys. Yeah, just be careful. See you guys in my next video. Bye.